There's Jerem Jordan, BYU Football All Access on BYU Sports Nation.
All right, Eric, practice 5 can finally put on all the pads. What kind of difference did you see in today's practice?
Well, you're getting in the point of camp now where you're in practice 5. To be honest with you, even though we have the pants on meow, it's not really a deal where it's any different for us on the O-line. We've been hitting each other for a few days meow, so it's just another day for us.
Through 5 practices, what have you really liked from your group on the offensive line?
I think the transition from the summer work to what we're working on meow, it's one of those deals where you have a lot of drills you give them to do in the summer. They know what you've done from the spring. They've been lifting, and now you're on the field with the defense, and you got them in front of you, and translating that to actual playing football rather than lifting weights. They've been really good doing that so far.
Traditionally, you want a certain amount of physicality, certain amount of contact to prepare for that first game. How has the coaching staff managed that where you don't want to get guys hurt too early, where you want to be physical, but you got a game to play in 3.5 weeks?
Yeah, well, I don't even put that in their heads. You know, I don't let them know necessarily. If I'm rotating, I'll kind of do it on my own. But that is my responsibility to monitor that. And to be honest with you, the first week or so of pads, I'm not thinking about it a whole lot. I mean, we're trying to establish a physical identity, and we got to do it meow so we can do it on the first game. So if we don't come out and practice it every day, it doesn't do much. So we'll get, as we get closer to the games, we'll start monitoring reps a little bit closer.
How has your relationship with your position group changed since you first showed up as the new guy to now, hey, we're in fall camp?
Yeah, well, that was the objective through spring ball, getting here so late in the process and not having a lot of time to really put my feet down and establish an identity within the spring. It was really just kind of learning about each other in the spring and seeing kind of what made each other tick, and they have to trust me just like I trust them, and we're just kind of getting to know each other in the spring. And then really after spring, when we had a few more times to have a couple meetings here or there, that's where we really, they know what I expect, and there's no more discussion, there's no more confusion. And when we get on this field now, we're full blown going. We're going.
What percentage of your day is spent thinking about the offensive line?
Percentage of my day, 97%.
What's the other 3%?
Last night I was watching some of the news. I like to watch some political stuff late at night. That's kind of you know what I'll say? It's my version of trash TV. That's my version of the trash TV nowadays. Is the national news. So I watch it about every night for a little while before I go to bed.
So that's the 3%.
That's
the news.
3%. Yeah. Everything else, is I think about football. So I'm not exactly a very exciting person.
I think you're fun. You're going the sideburns and the stash like Jeff Grimes. Yeah. Is this an offensive coaching staff decision? Is this I got a rep with my OC? What is this?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know the sideburn rule. I didn't know that there was a limitation. And
welcome to Brigham.
Yeah, well, I embrace it. I love it. And I thought, why not? When you're in training camp, it's you're around all dudes all day anyway, so I got nobody to impress, so I'm just going to let it go.
Okay, let's talk about the players on the O-line. A lot of people excited because there's a lot returning, a lot of young guys who have received notable grades from Pro Football Focus and whatnot. What does that mean to you knowing the type of group you have, yet you still have to mold and improve this group?
Well, now let me just say this, I know, and I don't want to put disrespect on our players, but it's just getting kind of old talking about last season. And my message to the guys, and I said this to somebody the other day, is that, to be honest with you, they give freshman All-American to any freshman that starts and plays the whole season. That's just what they do. That's how college football works. And I'm not trying to downplay it, but it's more about us doing what we want to do this year than talking about anything that we've already accomplished. Everybody has a clean slate. Everybody's got something to prove. We got lots of competition, and there's no guarantee that anyone's going to have their job, and that's the way it has to be in this position. And they're hungry, maybe more meow than they've ever been before, but I want to keep it going.
Tell me about some of the individuals in the group who are the leaders right now and what they're doing to lead.
We have a lot of leaders. We got guys that lead in different ways. Vocal guys like Tristan and Harris are vocal. James is vocal. Brady is more by example. Kiefer's by example. Chandon, Thomas Shove by example. We got a lot of guys that have their own way of doing things, so I don't like to just put one guy as the alpha. The alpha will emerge, as always, and maybe a couple, but I don't want to say that one or two guys are the leaders. We got a lot of guys that lead in their own way.
Will it require more than 5 dudes to get it done this year on the O-line?
The more you got, the merrier. You know, I've been around lines where you had the same 5. I think 2015 Arkansas, we had the same 5 for every snap of the season. Doesn't happen very often.
Every snap?
Every snap.
Wow.
And we were a really good line. And Coach Sam Pittman at Georgia was the leader of that, and I was the GA. But we had a really good line, and they played every snap. But that doesn't happen very often. So the way I see it, we need to have 8 guys that can win football games. So if we have 8 guys that can win games, we'll be a great O-line. We'll be able to sub a little bit here and there. And the way we're transitioning this offense to get more plays in, you know, we're not going to be playing 65 play games. Our goal is to be playing 85, 90, 95 play games on offense. And when you do that, it's nice to get a 20-play spell at a position or two. So that's the plan.
Who's, with that in mind, who's in the best shape on the O-line right now?
Chandon Herring and Tristan Hodge. Yeah, they are those 2 guys are freaky. They are freaky in shape. They're freaky strong. They're freaky fast. They're on another level athletically, and they worked this summer, and so they can just go. They just go. But we got some other guys that might not be in as good a shape but are mentally tough, and that might be just as important as running laps, you know.
The Utah defensive line has certainly been a strength over the years. I guess what kind of emotions come to mind when you think about the exciting challenge that is the Utah defense coming up on August 29th?
Well, if we're gonna put ourselves at a level where we have high expectations, then we can't want to play against lesser opponents. And the only way that you can really be great and consider yourself a great unit is by playing against great units and performing well. And that's all we're really concerned with. They have a fantastic defense. They have a fantastic D-line with 2 great coaches coaching their D-line. I have a lot of respect for. And we're going to be ready. We're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. And that's what you want. And a lot is made of the schedule. But the fact is, if you don't want this kind of schedule, you don't have a pulse, and you don't really belong in Division I major college football. So this is just what we're about, and this is what we're going to be about. We wish that we had more Power 5 games. We wish we had 8, 9. So hopefully it gets to that soon.
Let's finish with this. On media day, Jeff Grimes had a 25-second spell where he just stared into the ether. What?
Yeah.
While you were talking.
Yeah.
What happened? Was your answer boring? Was he boring? Like, what happened?
The only thing I could think of is that he was wondering one of 2 things. Did he leave the garage open when he left? And probably wondering if his kids were practicing hard at their sports practices. Other than that, or he could have been thinking about food too. Like he's probably thinking about, because right before we did that interview, we had like 20 seconds to scarf a lunch down. I had just ran over and changed in my car from summer camps. And so I was like panting, out of breath. And then he had been doing that all day. And so I don't know, who knows? That was a bad position for us to be in. Hopefully next year we don't have to do that.
That was incredible. And he didn't blink either.
No, well, Grimey's got, he's kind of got this compelling stare, and even like you could ask the players, he's got some eyes now that'll go through your soul. So
You do an impersonation?
of him,
Yeah.
I'm not even. No, I'm
You're
not.
not even gonna try?
No,
You're going to try on the facial hair, but not this.
I'm not going to impersonate his stare. I won't do it justice, and there's no way I could do it. I can go without blinking for about 5 seconds.
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've already lost my attention like 6 times during this interview, so I can't focus.
Well, Eric, we appreciate the time. Good luck in fall camp. Let's give you the BYU Sports Nation karma, the good luck with the big uglies.
Yeah, thank you very much. Go Cougs.